Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you guys 9 different exercises that you can do with the medicine ball. So here I have 2 different types of medicine balls. This one here is a little more solid, so it's going to have a little bounce to it when I throw it. While this one here is going to be more of a slam style medicine ball where it just kind of plops on the ground, right? So I'll show you some different exercises where I would use each one. So first, I'm going to start with the harder style ball. And just because it's lighter for this exercise, and this would be something I would like to use into a warm-up. So this is going to be called the around the world. So I'm going to start here with my feet about hip distance apart, straight with like a 10% variation. And I'm going to start with the ball overhead, and I'm going to have my eyes on the ball, okay? So now I'm going to move the ball down and around, keeping my eyes on the ball and lowering down into a squat with the ball. So when I come to the bottom, the ball should be right in front of me, and I should be in a squat position. And slowly coming back up with the ball as it goes back above my head. So again, following with my eyes, all the way back to the top, and then making sure that I go in both directions, okay? So that's going to be called the around the world, and I'm just using this ball because it's going to be the lighter ball. Now, we'll get into a little more explosive power, a little bit more of an explosive exercise, and I'm going to use this one here. This is going to be the slam ball. So this, I'm going to do an overhead slam, and I'm going to show you guys from the side. So when I start with the overhead, what I don't want to do is overarch my back. I want to make sure that I have a good activated core, and to do that, I'm going to have my ribs down. I think the best way I ever heard this was kind of like take your ribs and stuff them inside your belt line. So shoulders are going to be down away from my ears, meaning I'm not reaching up here like this to throw the ball with my shoulders. And my butt is going to go back, and I'm going to use almost like a reverse kettlebell swing or reverse deadlift to throw the ball into the floor, right? Go ahead, pick the ball up, overhead, ribs are down, shoulders are down away from the ears, throw the ball into the floor. So the reason I want to really focus on core activation is because this is a core exercise, and I want to make sure that I'm throwing from the gut, to say, right? So again, overhead, feet are straight, slam the ball into the ground, okay? So that's going to be an overhead slam. So next up, we're going to do a rotational slam. So with this one, I'm going to start with my body already twisted towards the side. I'm going to have the medicine ball in front of me. It's going to go overhead. Once I get the ball to above my head, I should be up on my toes, and my feet should be already transitioning towards the other side to slam it down. Now the same rules apply when I wanted to do like the overhead slam straight forward. I want to make sure that I have a rib down core, and my core musculature is activated, right? So I'm going to start here in this position. The ball goes overhead, slam. Notice the rotation of the feet. So again, when I'm here, I'm up on the balls of my feet, so both heels are up. I'm transitioning to the other side and throwing the ball through my gut, right? From the gut. So over, heels up, rotating, switching sides, okay? So that's going to be my slam with a rotation. Now, let's get into some lunging. So first, we're just going to do a rotational lunge with a twist. So again, I'll grab this other ball here. And we're going to do this alternating, right? So I have my medicine ball out in front. I'm going to take my step forward, pull myself to the ground as I turn in the direction of the lead leg. Okay? I like to keep my head lined up with the ball and then come and reset. So again, the leg is going to go up, pulling myself towards the floor as I turn in the direction of the lead leg. And I want to make sure that I'm turning through my chest, that I'm not just reaching the ball across, all right? So again, step up, foot, pull, turn. So notice the turn through the upper torso. All right? So that's going to be a lunge with a rotation. Now, I want to make this a little more explosive. I'm going to do a PLYO lunge with a rotation. So with this one, I'm going to set myself up already in this split squat position, this lunge position. I'm going to start the ball off to the side. Now, as I go through my PLYO lunge, the ball again should be in the center when my feet are switching before I land, right? So, back onto the other side. So the ball is at the center while I'm in the air, the height of my jump, and my feet are switching from one side to the other. But the same thing, I want to turn through the upper torso. I'm not just going and moving the ball from one side to the other, right? So I want to start from the start position. All right? And always landing, trying to land as light as I possibly can. Okay, very good. So next up, let's do a Russian twist. So with that, I'm going to have my feet set under here. So whatever you put your feet underneath, that's going to work best for you. So now, this one, the level of difficulty I can base on how far I want to hold the ball away from my body. So I can do this well with the ball about mid-range. I can do it right here on my chest, or I can do it with my arms straight out, right? Now, obviously, the further away from the body, the more difficult it's going to be. So again, the main points that I want to focus on is that I'm not just bringing the ball and reaching across my body, but I'm actually rotating and turning, all right? So I'm going to come here, try to get to the point of maximum tension, and then I'm just going to turn through my upper torso. So turn through that thoracic region, keeping the ball lined up in between my shoulders. So notice I'm not just doing this. I'm not just changing the center of mass, right? So lean back, turn, 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 okay? So that's how we're gonna do the Russian twist. So next up, let's do some squatting. So I'm gonna show you two separate squat variations. One, we'll do an overhead squat, and then we'll do one more of a front squat with a kind of a press out, right? So first, let's do the overhead squat. Now this is going to be very dependent on your mobility, right? So, arms above my head, feet straight, or 10% variation either direction, whatever your anatomy allows. I want to keep my chest up. Again, core is activated, ribs are down, and I'm going to pull myself down towards the floor, and then back up. Down towards the floor, and then back up, okay? So now, if you have too much difficulty doing the overhead squat because of your shoulder mobility or just your general strength, you can also do a front squat, where we're gonna press the ball outward, right? So I'm gonna squat down, press out, or I can squat and press as I go. But the same rules apply. I wanna pull myself down to the floor, keep a nice activated core, ribs are down, chest is up. Okay? So, next up, so we're going to do an alternating push-up with the medicine ball. Now this one I prefer the hard ball because I'm going to roll the ball side to side. And what I'll do is I'll come down here on an angle for you, and I'll start on this side. So the ball is going to switch as I do push-ups, and I alternate from one side to the other. I'm going to go push up, roll it, roll it, roll it. Right, so that's going to be one variation of the push-up. But now with this other ball, instead of rolling it, I'm going to transition. And it's a little easier to do with this softer slam ball because it's not going to move, right? So two different variations that you can do with the alternating push-up. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. There's actually, there's a lot of other medicine ball exercises you can do, but I just want to give you this quick rundown to show you the versatility of the balls and a couple different options. All right, see you guys in the next video.